please raise your hands from, we are in the District of Commissioners, Oliver Gilbert III, Marlene Bastian, and Keanu Hardeman. Is there anyone from these distinguished elected officials in the House? We would like to recognize you. And also from the City of Miami Gardens and the City of Opa-locka, where we can implement it along our planning efforts. We also want to make sure that we transform mobility and provide solutions for these station areas that will be along the North Corridor. Our study will develop comprehensive stations along the North Corridor, and we also want to promote growth along the area. We've been working with this community. We live, work along this community, and we want to make sure that it provides opportunities for all, and we want to make sure that it is truly reflective of your needs. So thank you for being here, sharing that with us. We are going to have a short presentation by my colleagues, and after that, we really want to hear from you, and that's where we have set up these tables with our experts that want to hear from you and take notes. So thank you for being here. We will be talking a little bit about community design. We will be talking about how we can enhance connectivity for you, economic growth, sustainable initiatives, and of course, we understand the very important cultural and historical significance that is really captured along this corridor. So with that, a few housekeeping. We do have another transit development plan that really runs along the entire Miami-Dade County, and we are right now doing a major update for that plan. So with that, I'm going to have Linda Weston just do a very, very brief remarks on what we're doing and how we're connecting with the residents. So Linda, you can come over.
Thank you, Lisa, and thank you for having us here. So my name is Linda Weston. I'm with WSP USA, and we are happy to work on the TDP major update, the DTPW, and we are here to get your input on the bigger transit system. This is a very important initiative that Miami-Dade County is required to do every year, but every 5 years we do a major update, and that's what we're doing right now. So if you have time, please visit the other corner. There's a very quick sticky pad exercise where you can provide input on what you'd like to see in the transit system. Also, there's an opportunity, there's a QR code there, and we've done an extensive surveying effort. We're just right around 4,600 respondents, so we're very happy about that. So if you're able to use the QR code and provide a few moments of your time to take the survey, that would be also very appreciative. But just a call out for visiting and the nice people at the table in the corner.
All right, good evening, everyone.
Good evening.
Come on, we can do a little bit better than that, right? Good evening, everyone. All right, so I am Brandon Fennell, and I serve as the project manager with DTPW on this amazing project. But before I introduce the rest of the team, I just want to thank you all for being a part of this process. You all are just as important as we are in the planning of this project. You all make up the fabric of this neighborhood that extends from the MLK station all the way up to 215 with the Hard Rock Stadium. So again, I want to thank you all for being here this evening. You could have been anywhere else, but you decided to be here to take part of the process of developing and reinvigorating our neighborhoods here in Miami-Dade County. So with no further ado, I want to introduce our DTPW team. Unfortunately, they could not be here this evening, but we do have our director, Ms. Stacy Miller, and also you heard from Lisa earlier, our chief planning officer for DTPW. And then we have Paolo Baez, who's our chief of multimodal planning for the department. My boss, Francisco Arbeláez, he's our principal planner for the program. And then you have myself, Brandon Fennell, I'm a senior planner with DTPW. And just my background experience, I worked for Commissioner Oliver Gilbert, so I'm very, very familiar with District 1 and this corridor. So I'm excited to be a part of this project and leading this project with you all. And last but not least, I want to introduce Grace Perdomo. Grace Perdomo is our project manager with Ziskevich, who is our consultant on the project. So without further ado, I'll introduce Grace and she will introduce the rest of our consultant teams. Thank you.
Thank you, Brandon. Welcome, everyone. My name is Grace Perdomo, and I'm an architect in urban design with Ziskevich Architects. Before I introduce the rest of my team, I want to first and foremost thank the Sherbondy Village Community Center and especially the City of Opa-locka for allowing us to host this event here tonight in this beautiful day. Our program today will run till exactly 8 p.m. because the facility closes at that time. We would love to, again, we have very limited time, but we're going to make it incredibly productive, and we very much look forward to the input and the feedback that we get from you today. This is the first of what will be several public meetings for this particular planning effort. And again, I will briefly introduce my team. I have my Ziskevich team. If I can see a raise of hands, I have tonight with me Laura. And main goal again for the program today is to hear from you. Now, there has been a long history of planning along this corridor. We all get that. This is a 10-mile corridor that runs from, on the south, the existing MLK Metro Rail station, all the way to the north to the Miami-Dade and Broward County line. This is a different meeting that you may have attended in the past, and why is that? We know that transportation plans take time to plan, design, implement, construct, and it's based on a lot of different components like funding and so forth. We also know that in the interim, there are solutions that we can identify to improve mobility along the corridor in different communities, to support affordability, and most importantly, to incentivize economic development along the North Corridor. So our main goal for this planning process is to work with you today and through the outreach that we will be doing to identify what some of those interim solutions may be. Some of the questions that we can ask, for example, I mentioned earlier, what are some of the desired uses you'd like to see along the corridor? That may entail zoning changes along the corridor. Also, what are the opportunities for redevelopment? What can we incentivize in terms of economic development that can boost the economic well-being of the residents that live along this 10-mile corridor? And also, an important question, what kind of capacity does the existing infrastructure have to welcome new development along the corridor? So, with that, oh, I'm sorry, I didn't hit this particular slide. Part one, as I mentioned, presentation. Part two will break out the table. So what is TOD? This particular rendering is showing different mobility options, right? You see a train, you see a bus, you see people biking, walking, scooting, driving along the corridor, right? Transit-oriented development is a word that means many things in planning terms. It's really about looking at how you plan for the area within a 1-mile radius of identified planned station locations, which along this corridor, FDOT has identified in the county a total of 8 station locations. In some cases, stations are built, and then they act as a catalyst for development. So there are communities that, for example, move forward with building a station, and then development will occur around it for a 1-mile radius. In other cases, development will precede a station built out. And what do we mean by that? That then this development serves as a way of making the transit corridor transit ready. Right? In Miami-Dade County, as I mentioned, there are 5 smart plan corridors that have been identified, and each of them are in different stages of TOD planning. As you may know, today, TPO, the county hosted the blue ribbon cutting for the Southgate Transitway, which has a total of 14 bus stations for the bus rapid transit service. So again, when we talk about transit-oriented development, we're talking about development that's very concentrated and compact around the station location, that includes a mix of uses, and that around that public transit component that encourages walking, cycling, and of course, transit use. Typically, you'll see higher density development around that station, that hub, to create, again, make a very walkable and bikeable environment. Oftentimes, you'll also incentivize and ensure that that station location within a 1-mile radius includes a mix of uses, including residential, retail, office space, healthcare, and so forth. I already mentioned walkability and bikeability, and of course, concentrating all these uses within a half-mile radius of the station. This particular master planning effort, what the team will be focusing on is assessing the existing land use patterns, identify what are the opportunities for redevelopment, where can we do investments that again improve the economic viability of the corridor and of the residents. We will evaluate infrastructure needs, as I mentioned before, and we will come up with some strategies that will guide the future growth of the corridor. So there are enormous opportunities that are related to investments, again, related to transit. I mentioned that we will be focusing on the 1 mile radius around these 8 proposed station locations and identify where's the greatest potential to support development and redevelopment. This particular planning process is funded through the U.S. Department of Transportation and Public Works through a program of the Federal Transit Administration Agency called Pilot Program for TPO planning. The FTA has awarded over $90 million over the past 10 years to communities that show the highest potential for redevelopment within their corridors. So Miami-Dade County was the recipient of this award a few years ago, and that is what's making this study possible for the county and for the community. Quick overview on the corridor. I mentioned 10 miles. The boundary, again, Metro Rail Station on the south, county line on the north. There are 3 county commission districts, which Lisa mentioned earlier. It also traverses 3 again incorporated Miami-Dade County and 2 cities, cities of Opa-locka and city of Miami Gardens. And it also is traverses up to 19 neighborhoods, a total of 19 neighborhoods along those 10 miles. It is a corridor that, as you know, has traditionally been commercial and industrial, but it is experiencing a lot of change today. We're seeing growing commercial industrial distribution centers. We're seeing new housing being developed along the corridor, new commercial and new mixed uses and projects, and we'll talk about that. We have those mapped in the breakout tables that you see, and also a new cultural arts, performing arts center in Miami Gardens. Quick demographics, when you look at the boundaries of the 10 mile, 1 mile wide, the population is 209,000 people. Split 52% female, 48% male. These data points are important. I'll share them here for the purposes of by age. The largest percentage of population are between the ages of 45 to 64 years old, and at 26%, the next largest population is 1 to 17 years old. The third largest group within the corridor is 65 years old or older. Education, the corridor has a split, 40% high school graduates, 40% with college degrees. Employment, the major sectors, as I mentioned earlier, are commercial at 33% and industrial at 17%. And just very quickly, the unemployment rate is 7.02. The counties is 2.8, so kind of a big gap there, but nationally, compared to national average unemployment of 4.3. And just real quick, a lot of people drive within the corridor, as you may all know. There's about 44% that drive 30 minutes to work. There's another 44% that drive 30 to 60. And the last group, 10%, take over 60 minutes to drive to work. Our process is about an 8 to 12 month process. Here, we're just illustrating the steps that we'll be taking. We're in the very initial stages of review and analysis and part of this public outreach. A lot of other opportunities through these workshops, including, as I mentioned, surveys. There will be walking and biking audits that we will be conducting, as well as open house forums for residents in the neighborhood to participate and give us their feedback. Planning outreach, we've done a lot of that. You may have seen our flyers and notices in the buses. If you ride Metrobus, we've shared tonight a project fact sheet. There's a lot of information on the website, social media. We've done many posts. You may have seen those on Instagram and LinkedIn. We sent out 7,100 letters to residents within a half-mile radius from the corridor. And we've also done some outreach events, tabling at Miami-Dade College. So next time an invitation goes out, please make sure that you bring a neighbor, partner with you to join us the next time. And we're also doing a lot of door-to-door outreach. Infinite Source Communications is helping with that outreach. I mentioned this interactive map that was developed and hosted by Kinley Horn, one of our project team members. This will go live in a few days, so please do check back the website to be able to fill in that survey. Just a few more slides to talk about what you will be discussing at the breakout tables. We talk a lot about in planning, about the ABCs of planning. These particular, we call them the 5 Ds, are the principles by which we will be assessing the planning study and coming up with the station area plans that Lisa mentioned earlier. These 5 Ds are, when we go through this planning process, we look at what are the opportunities for density along the corridor. We look for ways that we can ensure that within a 1-mile radius there will be compact development along the corridor. The second D for diversity is about ensuring that there's a mix of uses, residential, commercial, institutional, healthcare related, educational, within close proximity to the station area, or that if it exists already in the neighborhood, there's an easy way for you to access it from a transit station location. The third D for design, our favorite as architects and urban designers, is really about designing and paying attention to the quality of the public realm and looking at what are the types of pedestrian and bike improvements that we need to make. And 4D, destination accessibility, focus on how easily we can reach key destinations, and the photographs are just showing examples of how planning at this stage translates into improvements into the public realm, and again in the form of development. And these images are very contextual. They're very much about placemaking, and where you may see a very tall building, it's not in any way what we're proposing here. Again, the design needs to be very much contextual and to scale of the community in which the plan is being developed. And the last, and 5D, it addresses distance to transit and is very focused again on the proximity between the different uses and that transit station location. Just bear with me a few more minutes, but if you can start to take out your phones, we have a fun survey that we'll do in a minute. The first question is related to these planning zones. You'll see maps, we've divided the 10-mile corridor into 3 sections. Zone 1, for those of you that may live, work, or visit this area, is the area north of State Road 826 all the way to the county line. Zone 2 is between 826 and Northwest 103rd Street. So take your bearings. And Zone 3 is between Northwest 103rd Street and Northwest 62nd Street, where the Martin Luther King Station is. So if you can please take out your phones and scan this QR code on the screen. If anybody needs help, our team members can. I have just about 8, 9
It says
questions
join
to,
at
Slido,
slido.com, number 1941684.
Okay, this is the first one. What is your favorite restaurant? Believe me, they get better, but. Okay, 1. If anybody needs help, please raise your hands and we can get, okay? So one of my team members, AJ.
Anyone need help? Just open your camera and scan.
Yes, of course.
Yeah, they didn't leave it up long enough.
Everyone good?
12, we can do better. What's your favorite restaurant?
Did you open your camera? My Wi-Fi is great.
Just real quick, if you're trying to log on to the website, the network is guest-sv, and the password is citythatcare, no S, citythatcare, and the number 2. So again, the network is guest-sv, password is citythatcare, and the number 2. Sure. Come on.
City that care, capital C. City that care. Yeah,
City that.
T-H-A-T, care. Perfect.
Okay, this was just a warm-up question, so let's see, 15 people, 16, okay. So I think it's between Steve's Pizza, Mr. O1. Steve's Pizza. I hope they're a local business. Good. Okay, just one more second.
No.
Okay, 27 responses, so we'll look at about that, but let's start here. How many here today live in or work in Zone 1? Remember, Zone 1 is county line to 826, Zone 2 is 826 to 103rd, and Zone 3 is 103rd to 62nd Street. I need about 7 more people to identify their zone. Again, 1 is county line to 826, State Road 826, Zone 2, 826 to 103rd Street, and Zone 3, 103rd Street to 62nd. The QR code is also on the screen if you need to log back in. Okay, 22, a little bit less than last time. Let's go to the next question. What are your primary interests in the corridor? Again, there's residents in the room, there's folks that work here, or shop, or have a property here, or are developer, or... Huh?
Vocal architects. Respond to what you asked.
Yes.
Vocal.
Yeah, you can. Oh, his QR code is not working. Yeah. Lauda will help you log in.
Yeah, but what I'm saying is, these changes that you're putting up there and whatever it is, a lot of senior citizens, people in this building that don't understand the system. That's why I asked, is it vocal?
Yes.
You gotta go to the phone.
The survey will be available also on the website, and we have forms that you can fill out if you'd like, and we take your answers that way.
You see what I'm saying is, the problem here in Miami-Dade County, ever since Alex Munoz was mayor, he changed the whole public works system. A lot of black folks was retired and fired. And now the public works system is all about Latinos. You look along the road, like black people don't live in Miami no more. And this ain't right, so what I'm saying is this question right there. Who will profit from this project? Who will profit? Could a young person buy a car or a young person make a down payment and a home off this 10-mile project?
Okay.
That's what I'm saying.
All right then.
Ever since after that material, hey man, they changed this computer system, hire and fire people, because Alex Munoz is responsible for this. A lot of black people get fired, laid off, retired. Who take the place?
Okay.
So I think just to answer things you touched on.
All right.
One of the goals.
The survey is showing, we appreciate your comments, sir, and we look forward to having you ask those questions specifically at the breakout tables. It looks like 50%, a lot of people, almost even, the number of people in the room that work here and the number of people that live in the room. Just very quick to understand who's in the room. I spoke about demographics earlier, but if I can quickly get you to answer your age group. Again, demographics are very much pointing to the numbers that I showed earlier, but again, just to get a sense for the planning team. This data is important, and we'll be collecting a lot of this data when we do continued public outreach. Just wait a few more minutes. Again, great representation age-wise. Next question, we want to understand how in the room you commute, if you're a resident or if you live or work here. This allows you to rank the way your top choices of getting around in this area of the county and of the city. We want to understand, again, I think you can rank them by sliding the bars, but if you mainly use your car, we would like to know that from the audience in the room. If you walk or use transit, we'll also want to know that, whether transit is Metrobus or other services available to you, whether you mostly ride your bike. Again, we want to understand what are some of the commuting patterns. And this is one way that we do that, by surveying attendees at these workshops. So it looks like many of you drive. And second, transit, bus, or rail. Okay, next question. I have about 3 more questions. What are you most concerned if and when you ride public transit? What are some of the issues that you feel that you face? Is it safety, reliability? Are you looking at a service that you find is not very reliable or has many delays? Again, we want to understand what are some of your concerns when you do ride public transit. Reliability and access to transit are very close. Access to transit and delays. 3 more questions. We have a total of 27 people answering. Okay, next question. We want to understand what services you think you need to reasonably access without the use of a car. Again, when you saw the previous survey question, we had a lot of folks that drove, right? But if you were to think about uses that you want in close proximity to where you live and can get to without the use of having to drive, what would be your priorities? Would you like it to be easier not drive to get to school, whether it's college or high school? If the preference is to walk, for example, to local mom and pop retail uses or to the local restaurant? Looks like entertainment, healthcare, and education are pretty even. Okay, next to last slide, which improvements are most important to you? And we want you to rank those from 1 to 6. Are you more interested in housing, types of housing, affordable housing? Is it about open space in your community that you'd like to see improvements on? Is your preference for better connectivity to transit, infrastructure to walk and bike, or places for? Okay, a few more. I only have 15 responses. Looks like housing is top priority.
Clearly.
housing, restaurants. Some of the zones have more grocery stores than others. We'll start to talk about that in the breakout tables. Okay, two more, I promise. It's this one and one more. If you would prioritize some advantages to transit that transit can provide, can you please select the top three for us? Shorter commute times is an advantage, mobility, conserving open space, promoting reinvestment. Again, there's several options here. We appreciate you selecting the top three. Oh, I see we have a lot of walkers here. Good. Okay, 21, five more. Five more people. I'm counting them. There's a ticker. Yeah. Okay, shorter commute times. And yes, the demographics point to the fact that a lot of you commute very long distances for work and so forth. Mobility options and safer neighborhoods ranked, as you see here, 1, 2, 3. Okay, the last question. If one vehicle traveling were removed, how would you rank the following ways to use that space? Wider sidewalks and shade trees would be your preference, or would you like protected bike lanes next to cars, separated from cars? Would you prefer to see a new dedicated transit lane, or keep the lane altogether? And again, please rank from 1 to 4. After we conclude this, you'll be able to stand up, stretch your legs, and join our wonderful facilitators at each of the tables. But I have some instructions before you do that. No, it's done. No, break up. Okay, shade tree lovers, new dedicated transit lane. Wow, they all ranked pretty close. But top two, wider sidewalks and new dedicated transit lane. Okay, so I need you to pick your zone, and I described the 3 zones. We have a total of 6 tables in the back, 2 tables per zone. If you live, work, own a business, or just are interested in these zones, please make your ways over to the table. And I thank you very much for participating, and please approach any of us with any questions you may have. Thank you.
Congratulations.
How are you?
Congratulations.
Thank you. Thank you so much.
Here we are, zone 1, zone 1. Oh, it's 2 zone 1? Okay.
It depends. On a long term, it probably will.
So we're going to, hello, come on, zone 1.
Yes.
So we're going to the zones where we are. So I'm going to show you the map of, so this area here. So this is the map, proposed map. So we're talking Opa-locka down here. This is 27th Avenue. Come my way up. This is 183rd Street. City Hall is right here. Hard Rock Stadium. So this is so here we are. There's zone 1 over there too. She's zone 1. No, that's zone 1. That's why they said it's 2 tables. So you can come over here. This is the breakout tables.
Okay, so on the north end. We're just trying to introduce each other. As a person, if you live here, work here, you have interest, as Grace mentioned, you live around here in this area. Okay. 189. Okay. Thank you. Thank you for coming.
You want to sit down?
Okay, on the north side of the area. Already?
So these are the breakout rooms.
Okay, so I think we can get started. We have another team member that just gonna join. So I think the way we wanna, this is an open conversation. We wanna hear from you. We have some questions to get the conversation started, but please feel free to share if there's anything particular.
If you have any questions that you want me to ask or you want to talk about, please let me know so that I can bring it up.
Remember Grace talking about the 5Ds, right? Density, diversity, design, destination, and distance, right? But when we talk about density, is there any type of buildings that you see that you want to see around this corridor? In particular, for example, in terms of residential townhomes, it's more single family, it's more multi-family, small businesses. Like, what do you think is needed there based on what you see day to day here in this corridor?
My question is,
Everything is there.
what where you say you need those? Like, for example, I live in the area, so they come in my area.
No, so
27, that's what I'm saying. So I want to figure out what is it you want you're
no, so let's clarify. So when we're looking at this area, this corridor, we're never looking at residential that's existing right now. Anything that's single family, anything that's multi-family, we're not touching it, right? So we're always looking at what are the major employers here in this map. You can see what are the major employment centers, what are the areas that are kind of interesting in terms of commercial, for example. But then when we looked at this analysis, we never touched the single family homes or the multi-family. So what we're trying to present in the corridor area, where the transit is going to come, what do you think should happen around area within the half a mile or 1 mile area radius that we're looking at right now? So in terms of what we're talking about is within that radius, right? Like what is needed, what do you think is needed in the neighborhood? It could be commercial, you know?
I don't see that. Transit, I'm for the transit. But I think, in my opinion, they need to crowd. That's
So-
Yes.
If I can like just interject really quick just to get an understanding.
Please.
Okay, so basically what she's trying to say is
On 27th Avenue,
alright, so
around 27th Avenue.
typically whenever you have a transit line, it attracts density. It's supposed to, like, you know, if you go to Jackson, if you go to other places outside of Miami, it's supposed to be walkable where people can be able to walk to the station or drive closely to the station. Typically, when you build a transit line around that station, you want to build some type of density. It doesn't have to be tall buildings. It can be 2-story. It's just apartment buildings. They can be done in a different style. So basically what she wants to know is that because the transit line is coming, she wants to get the input on the community to see what type of housing would you guys be able, you know, to see around the station, or what type of housing type. Now keep in mind, I understand, you know, we have a lot of single family homes, right? Just because you say the word density, it doesn't transition to a skyscraper or anything. It doesn't. I can let they have houses that has duplexes that look like single family homes, right? Just have like a mixture of different housing types. So
No more housing.
what she's trying to say is that what type of housing would you like around the stations, or what type of businesses, what type of development would you encourage around the
No
station?
more housing. No more housing.
You need an art center. An art center.
That's
Art
coming.
center?
That's coming. Yeah, that's coming. That's going to be on 191st. The 35 acres, they're going to have right here. this area, they're gonna have an art center behind City Hall. They actually talked about it tonight at the meeting. So that's gonna be here. That's your 35. That's gonna be your city center. Then you have Calder Racetrack, which is part of Calder Racetrack right there, or casino right there, and then you have the stadium. So, yeah.
And also too, it seems like we need something like a beautifying area where
Yes.
you can have like restaurants and you can walk around. We don't have
Yes.
any really waterfalls or anything
Right.
that sometimes when people come from out of town, that you can take them there and walk around and enjoy yourself and they can see what
Yeah.
beautification that we have.
Perfect. That's exactly the type of input that we're looking for. That's great.
I like to say,
You'd be great.
I like to say, having the rail going through our way, when hard rock games and car races, we in this neighborhood suffer.
So what would you like to see?
So what we would like to do, or like, if this thing will end up there, there's a lot of land back there at that place, at 215.
That's probably going to be part of the right here is the terminal, right? So that land that's beside the turnpike, that's what you're talking about. Is that empty piece of land right there where you're coming from Miramar into? That's that empty piece of land. So that's going to be part of it.
The other thing is 211 Street become a so-called speedway, especially when the races is on. You can't go nowhere, man.
211, you said?
Yeah. So this 207, so this will be like 211 right here.
This become a racetrack.
Right.
So it's
They got to put some speed bump or something to minimize the speed. Because once ago when Miami-Dade had this vicinity, the cops they used to use their radar gun. And everybody speeding, somebody over there writing.
Where do you live? Where do you live in Miami Gardens? Where?
211 Street, 2821.
You ever go to any of the council meetings or any of the community meetings? No, I'm asking. Because how would because I'm asking because
They
no.
They don't send me no invitation.
No. I'm asking you because I want to invite you to one of these meetings because that's how your information. She doesn't work for the city. You understand? She's a county. I don't work for the city. I'm a resident, but I have a page called Miami Gardens now, and I post things going on in the city. She lives near you, near Lake Lucerne. I'm in Brentwood, near Carroll City. So my point is that while you telling her, you got to tell the people that's gonna make the change, and that's the people in the city. So I'm gonna give you. Are you on WhatsApp? Are you on WhatsApp? You have a phone, cell phone? All right, I'm gonna give you my information. That way, I'll keep you informed of what's going on. Yeah.
My backyard is right there on the street. Is that gonna affect my area?
It could.
They're still gonna be lining
Because
up.
I know they're gonna take the wall.
Yeah, they're redoing the wall. Yeah. It could. That's why we need you to come to these meetings.
But what I'm saying is, they got to do something. 211 become a commercial boulevard.
But how would they know if you don't tell them? I was just at a meeting yesterday. How would the city know if you don't tell them? You know what you do? Tomorrow, her community is having a meeting in Lake Lucerne at 6:30. Go to her meeting, and you could tell them at her meeting because usually the county, somebody from the city is there. Because how would they know?
Before my wife died, she was fighting for the speed ups. 207.
But that's the
Ever
city.
since Miami did give up.
But they won't know until you tell the people that the people is in the city. That's how they would know.
so now that we were talking about
You know-
different type of sorry.
No, I was gonna say like a bike you know, like somewhere where people, if they're bringing their bike, maybe a area to park their bikes or something like
Question
that?
about e-bikes. So I
Right.
was mentioning to him that whenever the design of each of the station comes, usually they bring as part of the design areas where you
Okay.
park your bike or where you have e-bikes,
Okay.
etc. So it's called micromobility. So whenever scooters, for example, whenever this type of mobility happens, it will be part designed
Okay.
within the station.
So is this based on the concrete structure that's currently in place, or is this a
It's all
bike
new.
lane, or
No,
is
no,
this
this is
a?
a new
No, I know, but I'm saying where it stops on 79th Street, right?
Okay.
That's concrete upstairs. Is this going to be the continuation of that, or is this
Is it gonna be elevated?
is it going? Yeah, but also could it be light rail, or could it be a bus lane? What is the plan? Do you know where are they in this process?
I have that information. I work for the TPO,
Okay.
Miami-Dade TPO. The county passed a resolution in 2018 for it to be heavy rail.
Okay.
That's the local preferred alternate. They did buses, they did light rail, and they said the most effective one is going to be heavy rail.
Okay.
So it's just going to be an extension from from the Martin Luther King station on up.
Okay.
I know the version.
Do you know how long?
I know the version. I stay here
Well,
long enough.
yeah. I'm asking because this has been like a long time coming, and so it's like, how do we get it moving instead of, you're saying 2018, we're in 2020.
Well, I know.
No, I'm just saying we're in 2025 now, so
So the thing with that, and just to put it in short term, because I don't take the time, is a lot of the transit projects, they're federally funded. Right now, we're in the United States, and the way that I put it is that there's not enough funding for transit for everybody to share. So I'm gonna say 100. I'm gonna give you an example. Let's say I have $100, right? $90 goes towards highways, bridges, roads, and everything, right? That $90 have to be split up between all the cities. You have to apply for a grant to get that money. $10 is used for transit projects. I mean, all the major cities have to fight for that $10. So if this line right here costs $3 to build, we got to go through New York, Philly, all of these other places. It's not enough money for that. And it's up to the residents to advocate and talk to your elected officials on state and federal level to get more money for transit, so we can be able to get projects more out. So as an agency, we have to plan in advance because you never know when money comes up. Right now, Trump just canceled the Hudson Tunnel project in New York City, unfortunately. But that's like $10 billion that just freed up. So we may get some, or somebody else may get some, but in the process, we have to start planning ahead in case that money comes, so we can be able to start getting rolling.
okay. Sounds good.
Dimensional question. We have a parking space from 32nd Avenue. For trucks, but they don't have no way.
32nd and what?
North side station.
North Side
They
Station?
usually have parking rails. Now they don't
Yeah,
have all
so
parking rails.
yeah, so the parking is inside of the building. They have a certain set of parking that's inside of the garage. It's shared parking with the community.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Sorry.
You have to drive under.
These are all very helpful information, so please interject whenever you.
I have a question. My house is in the middle of the university. So I'm gonna get it paid by
I honestly can't tell you yes or no because typically the way it works, you have the plan. This plan we have right here is not the plans for the metro. This is just for the development around it, right? Right now, once we get the money and they start saying we get into the design phase, that's when you're going to start noticing, when they start designing it, that's when they're going to start showing how they can be able to build the system. And you have to make sure you come to those meetings to have your voices heard so you can be able to get an update to see how it goes.
This phase that we're on right now, it's also to try to understand the type of development that can happen around the station. So that's really that she's been receiving that.
For what? I think they're keeping the edge for what?
But that's the city, though. That's the city that's gonna fix that wall. She's talking about there's a wall. There's a wall right here, and her house is right here. So it's like, yeah, that's the city, though. They're working on that.
Yeah, but Miami Gardens, they hardly doing it.
You gotta come to the meeting. You I'm gonna send you an email.
I only got
Make sure you show up tomorrow.
whatever date, and you see it February 8th.
Watch.
I put it out
Come to the meeting.
There
There was a meeting today.
because I was
City council meeting was today at 5:30.
Are you on Facebook or anything?
Yes, I'm on
She's on everything.
Okay, so if you're on Facebook, I would highly recommend for you to go to the county page and follow it. They have the newsletter page and put on your notifications. They also post them on there too. But I'm just saying because I attend a lot of meetings and stuff, and sometimes I host meetings, and I can send a mail out, and then 5 people will show up. You know, for whatever reason. So we want to be able to communicate more. But I want to let people know that there's other ways that you can look at certain meetings. For instance, if you want to look at the county board meetings, right? They have them on the website. You can watch it live. And if you miss the meeting, you can go back and watch the whole video as
I'm
well.
a senior that's not techie, but this is our local news person.
Okay.
Standing right there,
Right.
Miami Gardens now.
I have a
She
page.
gives us a lot of information. We depend on her. I just put it out there, but I thank you very much.
So, how come whenever they start operating here, what will be the impact of employment for the locals in this vicinity?
You said what is going to be the impact for locals in the vicinity?
Employment.
Who they go hire?
Well, when you build transit stations, it opens up employment for everybody. It really
I
does.
hope so. I hope so because the way the public works, Miami-Dade public work right now, everybody is punished. Like black people don't work no more.
So that's right. I'm gonna give you an example, and I would want businesses to come here. But let's say I live near, I'm gonna say the 183rd Street station, right? And I can go get a job at the airport easy, and I just walk to that station, go down, get on the airport, and go there. So it just opens up opportunity for you to get not just only to employment, but for everything else as well.
And to go from
And
there,
for
right.
Yeah, people to come in.
Yeah,
Yeah.
well, this is what I'm saying. The most people that gonna profit from this project is the people that build it in reality.
Well, that's
We
anything.
will all profit from it as a
That's
community.
not what I'm saying.
But that's
talking
anything
about-
if somebody
I'm a
makes it.
carpenter by trade. I work on high rise and the port of the airport and all that. I work on those. So I know what I'm talking about. These so-called engineers and supervisors and like they got this so-called prejudice type. They got this prejudice type to hire poor Latinos. Like black man can't work no more. This is what I'm coming from.
But then you need to use your voice. If you start going to these meetings,
Baby, I'm retired.
even better, even better.
But I'm negotiating for brothers like myself.
Uh-huh.
There are young people walking around here that don't have a job.
Uh-huh.
Black guys like us, they look at us like criminal, especially if you got the Rasta. You know, and you gotta do something because, like I said,
Well, that's what we're trying to do
ever
right
since,
now.
ever since Alex Pinellas became mayor, he trenched the whole public works, and then the whole public works turned to Latino. Black people get laid off, people sponsor get laid off, and now public works is all Spanish.
Okay, but you got to use your voice with the right people. He's not in the yeah, but he's
What can we do right now?
yeah, we got to
to
move
change that for you
right.
right now. We want your ideas so we can come up with ways.
Yeah.
how to
That's
do
why
it.
I'm talking about it now.
But you also got to go to the city council meeting. She's having meetings. That's what I'm telling you. Come to the meetings.
Yeah, but I don't get no notice.
I'm gonna give you notice. There you go. So no excuse after today. I got no excuse. I sent all of them about this tonight. All right.
Because I
No
got
excuse.
brothers, they got
What's your name? Malcolm.
I'm looking.
At least this would provide transportation to get from point A to point B if they don't have a vehicle to drive. To drive. At least don't have transportation.
The profit that's going to come out of this, can a young person buy a car or make a
Well, that's
house
anywhere.
and a house?
If you in New
So
York.
can I ask you a question? I'm sorry, the reason why I'm so involved here, I work for the TPO, but not only that, but I was born and raised in Miami Gardens.
Yeah.
So this is very important to me as well, right? And I'm gonna give you an example. The reason why it makes it so important is because my experiences. When I first graduated and I had to do an internship, I had to work in Overtown at the CRA, right?
Yeah.
When I first got there, I started thinking the same thing. Oh my God, I gotta work for this and all this other stuff. I learned so much there, and I was fortunate to get a job in my own community, working for the city of Miami Gardens. And it felt very special to me because I got a chance to live and work and make differences and changes in where I live. And I was on that particular level as well. And now I even went higher, and I still want to make an impact here. So I have to lose my pessimistic attitude and say, you know what, I have to look to see how we can move forward as a community, because you got people like me and other people that come from the same neighborhood and they're moving up because they see the things that goes on. Now I can admit sometimes it comes off as other people get special treatment, right? But I'm not going to sit back. I'm going to try to make a change, and I'm going to try to implement and help plan in the future to look out for everyone as a whole.
And just going back to the point that he was trying to make, the whole idea of having this system is that you can move places further out, right? So imagine the distance of driving an hour. This could take you, I'm just giving you an example, 20 minutes instead. So you gain time from your life by just using this type of transit.
I can do this.
And you can go further, as you were saying, right? Like he would have been able to go to the CRA in Overtown.
Yes, and I have a car, but I still catch the bus and the
Yeah,
train.
but
Listen, I take the Tri-Rail, and I got a car.
And I have a scooter.
it's easier because I had to go downtown. I park my
Okay,
truck.
sorry, I don't mean to cut you, but it's kind of short. You know what I would like? Some information regarding human trafficking. Because we have this stadium here, and we had these apartments right here actually had human trafficking situation. It would notification at the stops to let people know what to look out for. We're having large scale events all the time. People need to know it. It's not they talk about it when there's an event, but it should be an ongoing thing. Like with the Tri-Rail here, the Tri-Rail has that notification. Yeah.
I maybe not gonna because I don't.
Sounds good to me.
Yeah.
That's what they need to have.
I mean, we discussed a lot of inputs right now here, a little bit related to the theme that we're talking about, a little bit not really so much related, but we have got really good information. So what you was telling me is that we have 2 minutes, and then somebody
Is that what they said?
should go up and then kind of talk about what we were discussing.
Yeah.
But in terms of the type of information that we were trying to look for, we can pick somebody now. But for example, like, is there any area here that you see that need, for example, wider sidewalks or more trees, bike lanes?
Trees?
Like, those are the type of information that we're looking for. So that when
The
we
whole
plan
area actually could use trees. There's trees in the median, but not on the sidewalks per se, because you have like even right here where the Walmart, there are no trees. It's just the sidewalk. And really, you could use trees all the way up and down. Quite frankly, trees all the way up and down.
Another
Yeah.
another activity that we were
Yeah, this straight beautification.
Something for two.
And some art.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah, we like art.
Arts, when people are driving.
Yeah, we like art.
It's not a plane.
Okay. So
Okay.
kind of like
LACAYO 70. Okay, I'm gonna send you an email before we leave.
Sometimes when you go to different cities, you see the beautiful water.
Right.
The water art.
Yeah, just some kind of.
Nothing like that.
Yeah, no art, no beauty.
The lights.
Light, yes, lighting.
Lighting.
Yes, lighting.
Color got all the space.
Huh?
Color have all the space.
Yeah, but there's space on 27th Avenue that could use. Listen, the city is called Miami Gardens, and there ain't no flowers.
When you look at it, you think it feels like a barrier for you to access transit. like, for example, the crosswalks, there's not enough crosswalks that lets you go to the existing transit that are there to the bus stop? Or is there
This,
anything that has a barrier for you?
Passenger bridge.
Okay. And there's not anything like
Bus stops and everything like around have it, where they have a cover.
Right.
When people are waiting for the bus or whatever.
Right.
They go under and move the hours.
yeah, passenger bridge would be good going over 27th Avenue like they do on 199 from the stadium. That's what you're talking about, right? Yeah.
I think that these bus stops supposed to have a barricade and the people back there, because a lot of people get killed. A lot of people get killed from the sidewalk. They just run over them. If these bus stops have walls that are protected, walls on these bus stops.
Is there any idea or concern that you know that we should be aware today for this area? Anything good, anything that you feel like it's a concern?
I think if this were to take place, there definitely has to be extra security, extra manpower when we're talking about this, because
Security in what sense?
we have the stadium.
Okay.
That alone, I mean, we're talking about from this is the highway to this is considered the clean zone in the city of Miami Gardens.
Okay.
Just in general when they have an event. And with that being said, there are certain areas where you can't have what do they call them? The pedal pushers and the golf carts and so on. So in that sense, and when we have folks coming out of the stadium, this is a heavy zone. So much so that these streets get blocked off. So when she's talking about, she lives in an area right here. She has one way in and one way out in her community. So she's really messed up. This is her community is right here. So she really gets messed up. Right. So we would need, like, in terms of keep manpower when there's an event. For sure. Because that Taylor Swift concert is a perfect example. And that was 3 days. And they didn't, you know, the crowd wasn't terrible or anything, but it was just a lot of people. That's all it was.
Okay.
And so we're gonna have the World Cup coming. I mean, this won't be there obviously, but thinking in those terms.
Thinking about, there's always many events happening around these areas. Constant issue of
Right. Because they, you know, this right here, because a lot of people on the news, they don't show it.
Okay.
We get it. We get it.
Coming back to this the wall for the bus stop, you're supposed to have a wall. Because a lot of people get killed.
So you want a barrier?
Yeah,
Okay, so a barrier. They're not gonna put a barrier. Okay, right. I'm gonna email you. All right. So when I'm off.
Do we have one person selected? Who from this table can go up there and kind of do a summary of what we discussed, of what you think should be done here?
Go ahead, Miss Lynette. Go ahead. I talk all day long. Why? I talk. I'm recording live. Why? What are we saying? Yeah, he can say. All right, let me write something down. You know, a whole bunch of stuff. Hold on. Oh, they're going table to table. Oh, okay. Okay.
Go on that thing.
I can't help you if
Yeah, please feel free, like we say one person, like.
the art center.
I'm sorry, I was trying to write the bikes, e-bikes and micromobility, that it's a need. We talked about like,
All of them not
you talked about, what was it, like beautification and arts and lighting.
coming in first.
Hey, you forget about the barricade for the bus stop.
She's
You got it?
You got it, Chris?
Hold on.
What else?
What is this?
let
Oh.
our audience know what's going on, so we don't keep them out of the conversation, because Unity Terminal is a great, thing, and it's such a need, so the other part of the state is to help out. We talked about having healthcare centers at the, by the,
We need better lighting on 27th Avenue. And also,
we talked about having a training
better
center.
lighting. And like trees, like you were saying.
Oh.
Talking about having overpass that they have, I say that
Oh, he said it. Yeah.
grocery store,
Certainly I'll be in there too.
Yeah, that part I'll pass.
What did he take it? Oh, he took it away. You took it back.
Before events and potentially after the events, that way we can meter the traffic and improve congestion around the area.
Thank you so much. We have zone, okay?
Here.
Representative.
Here, here. Just right.
Okay, if you can please state your name, whether you live or not in the corridor or the zone, that would be helpful, identify yourself.
Good evening, my name is Romney Branch, and I work.
No, that's zone 2. I guess they're going that way.
Discuss how the Burlington Street station would be an essential hub for the surrounding residents. Also, how it would provide access for the potential proposed development that is going to go on in that area.
I want you to get your attention that Wilson is here, you know that, right?
The path. Wilson. And then have potentially take on reduced areas, some more narrow than others, and this path, and that would impact the business.
Why you coming tomorrow? I gotta go to do a job. Just sit there.
Just basically how our schedule for sure will be developed with businesses in mind. Economic impact that would go on during the construction, again, with the businesses and how they would be affected. And with the proposed construction that residents.
Zone 3 in the first row.
You write this up and send it back.
Yeah, you can give it to me. If you want to write it down, give it to me.
Think positive about today. Don't think about what happened 40 years ago. Think about today, the change we're making today.
We talked about basically sometimes the great need in our neighborhood is that sometimes it takes 3 to 6 hours to get somewhere on the bus. So that would be a great need for them to get to their doctor's appointments, jobs, and et cetera. Talked about unreliable transit today. A lot of people in these areas, they don't have means to transportation. They don't have extra cars. Sometimes it's like 6 people that live in their home. So that would be a great need for them. No space for walking on 95th Street. Twenty-seventh Avenue has very narrow sidewalks or no sidewalks.
Yeah, that way.
Talked about Seattle's light rail. So Seattle has a light rail that goes along 27th Avenue and will work alongside the bus.
See? What
So
did
you
I
may
say?
not need,
A light rail.
have a need for a large metro station. It can work as like a bus station.
That's what I said.
27th Avenue to Miami-Dade College, unsafe for biking and
Because it'd be quicker.
Developments that can benefit, support, career towards youth and young adult populations, incorporated third place destinations along with other safe destinations, more restaurants, shopping, plazas. Many mothers have strollers, need lighting, need better lighting.
No, it's gonna be here. It's gonna be there. All that's gonna be in the, all that's gonna be here. The 35.
So those are basically the things that we saw in Zone 3.
Okay, second row of tables. Back to zone 1.
Filling station. Oh, my name? Hi, my name is Christine, Zone 1. What we spoke about is actually the passenger bridge that was someone from Zone 1 over there brought up. Also, 27th Avenue for safety is definitely needed for the zone. Beautification and better lighting. Also trees, if you're in between the area, which is Zone 1, there really aren't any trees on the sidewalk. Extra security, we do have the stadium, we have a lot of events taking place there, so we absolutely need a lot of security when we are in the clean zone during those events. We need that. Also e-bikes and micro mobility and information regarding human trafficking. When we have these large scale events, we have a large one coming up next year, World Cup, so we definitely need to notify people where they can and can't go, who to be secure about. And I think that's it, because we pretty much said a lot of what zone, the first table was saying.
Thank you so much. Zone 2. Who's our speaker? Yes.
There's Alex. Come on, Alex. Oh, I talk all day.
Yes. Alex Van Meckel, resident here in the city of Opa-locka, representing Zone 2. I'm trying to synthesize what we discussed because I think we were talking in larger strokes of the project as a whole, but the specific need of what we would like to see in our community, especially with regards to the Burlington Street State Road 9 corridor, is housing. Definitely an amplification and focus on affordable and mixed-use housing. There was a discussion at the table about the need to also create mixed use on the bottom level so that there's better pedestrian access, and there's also an encouraging of different mobilities such as biking and other means, but also the proximity very strategically to the Opa-locka Tri-Rail station and how that connects to the entire Tri-County area. Obviously, there's a lot of considerations of kind of closing the gap so that getting the Tri-Rail to the Metro Rail is seamless. And of course, multi-story, multi-family considerations and new developments coming in and around the station, helping to increase the density that we need here in Opa-locka.
Wonderful, thank you so much. So I think we're set for the evening. I just want to hand it off to, before I hand it off, quick reminder, TDP survey before you leave over on the corner. But I'll hand it back to Grace. Thank you.
Thank you, Maria, and thank you everyone for joining us this evening. Please do check the website and also follow us on Instagram, on LinkedIn. We will be posting when our next events will happen, and we hope to see
All right,
you again.
I think that's the end of it. Bye, guys.
Thank you, everybody, for coming and giving us your. I'm sorry?